For my interpersonal remodel, I chose to do conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is coming to an agreement with two or more parties. I chose conflict resolution because I feel like it's very important in everybody's life. Everybody deals with conflict and has to solve them in their lives, and I feel like it's really important for people to know effective and proper ways to solve their conflicts. So I did conflict resolution so that I can learn the effective ways and maybe even help other people learn how to get through their conflicts. I improved my skill by focusing on four active ways to improve it. So I did active listening, feelings, compromise, and blame. Active listening can be pretty difficult. It takes a lot of effort to be a good listener. And it talks about in our book on page 195 that active listening requires dedication and mastering the knowledge, hard work, and practicing skills and motivation to continually improve. And I definitely came across that. Like, it's not just like you can sit there and listen to somebody, especially if you have like a short attention span, because I'll be sitting listening to somebody and I'll just completely zone off. So it definitely takes a lot of hard work and you have to be consistent with it. And then I definitely think that I got better at it. So in my research, I came across the fact that when you're compromising, you might have to settle with something that you didn't agree with, or change what you kind of thought to accommodate for what everybody needs in the conflict resolution. And in our book on page 273, it says, third, during compromise, both parties change their goals to make them compatible. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. Maybe there might be a conflict where everybody agrees on the exact same thing, and you might not have to change what you think, but sometimes you might have to, and that just might be the way that it has to go. So in my video journal about blame, I talked about how blaming somebody that is involved in the conflict with you can either elongate the conflict or it can start up a whole nother one. And in our book on page 275, it says that partners blame their partners for failure to solve the conflict. You can't blame other people for conflicts not being solved because it's a group effort and it takes everybody. It's not just on one person. So you may have a more difficult time solving it if you're blaming people. And in my fourth and final video journal, where I talked about feelings and how important they are to make sure that everybody shares their feelings and everybody is heard, it talks about on page 271 in our textbook that you want to encourage the other person to share relevant thoughts and feelings and make it clear your willingness to negotiate mutually and agreeable solutions. Where this is like where active listening and pretty much everything that I talked about kind of comes into one, because you want to make sure that you're listening to the person's feelings. You want to make sure that you're sharing your own feelings, and you want to make sure that maybe you don't blame somebody for not sharing their feelings. You just want to discuss with them and tell them to open up about how they feel, so you guys can all mutually agree on one thing, which is also where compromise comes in. And in doing my research about these four ways, I not only was able to solve my conflicts a lot easier, but I also had less conflicts. I will carry these four active ways with me forever. They really helped me navigate through my conflicts, and I feel like it made it a lot easier for me to solve my conflicts.